with a contract proposed by Dennis, DENES, Dennis Concrete of Wellington of $409,581.31. Deals with the emergency culvert on Moore Road. And
As of today, we've been trying to coordinate along with the gas company because the gas company, they have to relocate their 6-inch gas line off of the existing culvert in order to make room for the new culvert. So we've been working with them. As of this afternoon, as of about 5 o'clock this afternoon, we have the final easement from the 3 properties that we need. And I will be setting up that meeting to get their work scheduled in order to allow this contractor to come in and start doing their work. I also have a meeting scheduled for Thursday with Dennis Concrete and Avon Lake Regional Water because they're going to make themselves available to help Regional Water with their water line relocation under the new culvert. So we got a lot of things going, but Dennis Concrete is ready to mobilize as early as next week if you know, we can get all of those, get those 2 other entities in place. So they're ready, willing, and able to move on this. I did tell them that we would notify all of the businesses in the area, just like we did when the culvert initially closed down. So we'll give them more of an update once I know when contractors will show up on site.
I have 2 items on tonight for the Safety Committee. The first is a liquor license transfer, or this is a new liquor license for Big M Pizza LLC, which will be doing business at 153 Lear Road. That is the former break wall location. This is a new business that is going in there. The police chief had an opportunity to review this liquor license and had no objections. The next item is the 2019 disposal of unclaimed bicycles. This is a routine thing that we do every time at about this time of the year, where all of the bicycles that are abandoned throughout the city and are kept for a period of time, allowing the owners to reclaim them. If they are not reclaimed, the bicycles are donated. Ohio City Bike Co-op, and this is one that we've used in the past. So these bicycles will find a good home, and they'll be donated. And that bicycle co-op does a great job of refurbishing them and getting them to people that need them.
For those of you who may be going, well, I wonder if my bike's in here, just call the police station. Is there a list on the city website somewhere?
It's in the agenda, so it was posted there.
So
Yes.
it would be available online if people
Correct.
were wondering if their bike is going to soon be donated.
go to second reading, temporary legislation 11,280, rezoning of 524 Moore Road from R1 Residence District to a B2 General Business District.
The property that we are looking at to rezone from an R1 residential to a B2 business is right next door adjacent to B2. And that property was used as a daycare in a business realm for many years. It cannot be reused, resold with the new mortgage laws unless it is zoned as a B2. It cannot operate as a business in an R1 where there can be no mortgage.
Next is temporary legislation 11,293, amending codified ordinance section 432.30, entitled Stopping for School Bus.
We did our due diligence on this. This has been reviewed by the city law director beginning back in June, so it's been several months. This has been reviewed and discussed several times with the city prosecutor. And probably the closest comparison law of what we're doing here is the dog ordinance, where we took the existing dog ordinance and we were able to make changes to it and increase penalties and such for certain actions and still remain constitutional with what and not in conflict with what the state law says. So while I thank Mr. Phillips for his opinion, I will stand by our city law director and our municipal prosecutor that have looked at this and have blessed this.
Well, I wouldn't be able to make comments between now and the vote, so it would take some time to do it. But it has been looked at by John Rulbach, and I looked at it, and we felt that it was constitutional. But if you're requesting an opinion, that would certainly take time and it would not be available for tonight's vote.
The conflict really stems from the fact that 451175 makes it a traffic violation, not a misdemeanor. So your codified ordinance has that label that says it's a misdemeanor. This body has no authority to take a general law and take an offense that's a traffic violation and make it a misdemeanor. Did the law director give you an opinion and discuss with you the Canton case of what a general law is? Did he talk about the preemption doctrine? Did he? Is there an opinion to that effect? Because if he didn't, then he didn't give you the right guidelines to do it. He didn't. Now, you want a copy of the decision? You can have it between now and you vote on it in the special meetings. And I know what the statewide concern doctrine. Does anybody up here know what the statewide concern doctrine is? And you're going to vote on this piece of legislation? Do you know what it is? Do you know what that means? Do you know what Article 18, Section 3 means? Whether or not you have the authority? Do you have a legal opinion, okay, that you can do it? I disagree with Mr. Cows. He says it's been thoroughly looked at. I don't think so. Because if none of these comments and buzzwords that I've been saying for the last few minutes, you haven't heard of them, then you're not able to vote on this piece of legislation tonight. You're not.
And I think that it would be our due diligence
I would hope so.
to allow, David, I'm sorry, because you know this is very personal to me. Growing up, my next door neighbor was killed by somebody going around them when they did not stop. So this is very, excuse me, I have the
Phillips.
floor. This is very personal to me and I support what you're doing, but I think that we need to postpone it long enough for our law director to give us an opinion on the opinion. And I just think that is, I think it's important for us to do. Thank you.
Okay.
I know school is starting. I work for a school. I have 4 children, and I support the spirit of this. But I do feel that we have to do our due diligence and make sure that what we are passing legislatively is in harmony with the state law.
But I do respect my colleagues very much. I think this is a disservice to our law director. I think this is a disservice to our city prosecutor to have it derailed in this manner. I think does both of these fine gentlemen that we serve with a disservice. But I respect my colleagues quite a bit, and we will move forward and we will pass this next week.
I move to confirm the mayor's appointment of John Palinko to the Civil Service Commission for the term expiring December 31st, 2019.
Discussion?
As the mayor pointed out, he went through Mr. Palinko's resume. I think he's highly qualified for this position.
The committee meeting, Mr. Palinko interviewed very well. He's a very level-headed individual. He has had a strong background in bankruptcy and Chapter 11 issues, but he does not have a background in human resource issues, but he does bring a great deal of level-headedness to the commission, and that's something we certainly are pleased to have.
An ordinance amending codified ordinance section 432.30 entitled Stop-in for School Bus, Actuating Visual Signals, Discharging Children, and Declaring an Emergency.
Mr. Cost?
Thank you. This is the second reading of this ordinance. I will be asking for a third reading a week from now after the law director and the municipal prosecutor have an opportunity to look at some of the items that were brought forward today. Again, I want to state that the due diligence on this was done, meeting with the 2 city attorneys, and I look forward to passing this a week from today.